Hey everybody. So it's been a minute. I'm so sorry for leaving you guys hanging there with the echo interviews and everything. After the new year, I got sick like twice, maybe three now. I'm not entirely sure. But I just wanted to update you guys really quickly about a few things. One is the content that I got coming out for you guys. Again, like I said, my Echo review. The next one are my thoughts on Taylor Sheridan and Empire of the Summer Moon. That's going to be an interesting one for you guys. And then I wanted to talk about, some Oscar stuff. I've been waiting for the Oscars to happen so that I could, talk more a bit about this. It's more about semantics and what it means in the grand scheme of, native and indigenous representation and stuff like that. And of course, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, there's been some drama with casting, but then I also kind of just wanted to give my 2 cents on, the representation and how it was handled in that show. I'm in the middle of watching it now, so I'll also do a review of that too. And of course, True Detective season 4. That's one that had a lot of buzz lately, and I just have to sit down and watch it still. And then actually Dune, I just watched Dune 2 recently, and I had some peripheral thoughts about that. I mean, of course, it's like there's a lot of talk about, Muslim and Arabic representation, but there's actually some interesting indigenous overall and colonialism stuff that I kind of wanted to explore and talk to you guys about that I thought was really interesting. And there's just a lot of native themed content and projects out there, and that's a good thing. The issue is that I'm only one person, I'm a one-man band here, and I can only cover so much in such a little bit of time. There's 3 main reasons why the channel's gonna take a bit of I don't want to say break, but it's just gonna slow down a little bit. The first is my full-time job. My day job is an editor. Right now, I went from documentary editing, and right now I edit YouTube videos, ironically. And so when I'm editing YouTube videos all day long, it's a little bit harder for me to come back and edit my own YouTube videos. I get gassed out, unfortunately. And then the second thing, it's my family. I have one child, and I gotta have another one on the way. And so it's just been like managing the work-life balance in my life and everything, and so it's just I have to make time for it, and it's happening. It's just it's been a little bit harder recently, and so again, like I said, there's a plethora of native themed and native led projects and content out there, and it's really hard for me to kind of do it all at once. There's been 3 sources that I've seen pop up that are really good at keeping track of like literally every single thing that comes out. One is A Tribe Called Geek. They're on social media, but they have their own website, and their website really is just like a dedicated like news outlet type thing for native entertainment. The second is We Are Seeing Red. I think they're mostly on Instagram, but I think they're on Twitter as well. And the other one is Indigenous TV. They've kind of popped up, and they are doing really well at posting frequently. They post memes, they post updates about things that happen in not just film and media, but like music. They post music drama and stuff like that. It's actually a really cool source. Another one is Mox and Comics. They're another great source as well that you can follow. It's just I have myself on this channel. I'm the only one on YouTube right now that's kind of like doing like these longer video essays or reviews and stuff like that. It's just like I haven't even yet got into video games and comics and music and everything else, right? And so it's gonna take some time. Luckily, a lot of the stuff that I can talk about is really broad, so that I can just kind of release it whenever. But I kind of wanted to touch back on like the third reason as to why I've been missing for a little bit is because of my own personal endeavors and passion projects. I talk a lot about this idea of native-led projects. I am here to announce officially that I am in the process of filming my own short film.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
What is this short film? Navajos actually really like sheep intestines. So the short film follows a hungry vagrant out on the Navajo reservation, wandering around really hungry and thirsty, and in an attempt to steal fresh fry bread from a ceremonial meal that's being prepped. In a last-ditch effort, he actually winds up stealing some sheep intestines. And the rest of the story kind of climaxes into this goofy, off the wall interaction that he has with these tourists who are kind of lost in the southwestern desert in Navajo land. The short will be featuring Lauren Anthony, an experienced Navajo actor, as well as Navajo musician and filmmaker Pete Sand, along with a bunch of other local Navajo talent down in southern Utah. And I will be directing. To give more context to this short film and where it's coming from, the story itself was originally like a joke or like an anecdotal short story with a punchline. And my great-grandmother, she actually would tell this story. And of course, she would tell it all in Navajo. And my mother actually grew up hearing it. And then over time, when I was younger and as I was growing up, she would tell it to people. And, it was just like, it was a cute, fun little story to tell people if we were on the road or, filler conversation and stuff like that. The more I thought about this story and this joke, I was like, this would actually be a really goofy short film. And I wanted to put my own personal twists and tastes kind of in there, my own sense of humor. And so in the description box below, I'll go ahead and put a link to the Seed and Spark campaign. You can see the video there and a lot more information about what we're doing with this short film. And also for more context, Seed and Spark, they're kind of like a filmmaker's Kickstarter. And so like with any campaign, we're gonna have incentives. So for $15, you're gonna get a digital thank you and a shout out on Instagram. If you have an Instagram, it will tag you and everything, and it's just gonna be blasted out. And for $25, you're gonna get a digital download of the film once it's completed with my director's commentary. For $50, you're gonna get your name in the credits. And the goal for this short film is that it's gonna be, shown in a lot of prestigious film festivals. And so your name will pop up at these festivals in the credits and like a special thanks and stuff like that. And for $75, you'll get what's called a digital toolkit. And it's gonna be, the first look at the trailer, it's gonna be a digital poster and a whole bunch of other stuff that kind of shows a bit of the behind the scenes of like how the film was made, like the lookbook or like my storyboards, like the Spotify playlist that I created, the Pinterest board that I used to kind of, get the aesthetic of the film and all the digital stuff that I use to try and get the story to come to life. And for $100, you'll get a personalized video thank you from me. I may actually film that on set too. It just depends. But yeah, you'll get it from me. And by the way, like everything that I'm listing, it's not that you just get, the one thing. So like $100, you get this video thank you. You get everything below that as well. So you'll get the video thank you and the digital toolkit and the Instagram shout out and your name in the credits and all that. So it's like, you'll get more and more. For $250, you'll actually get in the exclusive like behind the scenes stuff of everything that went to making this film. Especially on set, you'll get to see the effects stuff. You'll get to see stuff with our cast and me and like how we're working on set out in the beautiful Moab desert to kind of get this thing going. And for $500, you'll actually get a bunch of stickers. These stickers are going to be things that are like specific call outs or specific references in the film. Of course, one will be the actual title of the film. For $500, you'll get a physical poster like this big or something. And it'll be signed by me and the cast. For $2,500, you're gonna get the script, the original script, signed by me and the cast as well. And this t-shirt is actually different. The idea is that the character in this short is like a metalhead. The band shirt that he wears in the film, that's the t-shirt that you're gonna get. Considering Lauren actually got signed on to be the lead in a feature film. And I don't know what the film is, but if it winds up being like a larger project, it'd be really cool to, have his signature. And so there were two reasons why I personally feel that supporting me in this project is unique and important. The first one, this short film, because I'm based in Utah, and it's a state here in the United States. Recently, Utah celebrated 100 years of film in Utah. Utah has a very unique history with film in particular. John Ford, a lot of his films were shot down in southern Utah, near Monument Valley and in Monument Valley. And a plethora of other Westerns have been shot in this state. And more recently, Kevin Costner's Horizon 1 and 2 were shot here. And Wind River was shot here, Windwalker was shot here, Hereditary and Midsummer, parts of Midsummer were shot here. But ironically, as far as my research can tell, there hasn't been any native-led indie projects filmed here in Utah. And more particularly down south where it's the desert and the red rock where it's like a western or something. And so that's kind of something that unique that I would offer to the history of not only the state, but also filming a unique indigenous Navajo story in the same area where all like these John Ford westerns or other westerns were shot, where natives are kind of like side characters or backdrop characters. And so that's one unique reason I think is, you know, pretty interesting about this project in particular. I'm just gonna pause here for a quick second and correct. It is, my project wouldn't be the first, but it's among one of the first. Pete Sands, who's gonna be in this film, actually has a really cool Navajo puppet show that he has been doing. And that's one of, you know, one of the other projects. There's another indigenous project, but it isn't native, it is Polynesian. That a good friend of mine also directed recently here in my area. But mine would be among these first native-led projects here in Utah. The second reason, and I'm being very audacious with this, all right? I need you to bear with me here, but with a lot of the attention that native actors and native themed stories are getting lately in the mainstream world in Hollywood, you know, like I said, with True Detective and Echo and Killers of the Flower Moon, all of these projects. I mentioned this before, but I really do feel like we're experiencing a new wave of indigenous and native-led projects being out there, and not just in film and television. I'm talking like in other aspects. I personally, I want to be riding that wave along with these other up-and-coming native directors and filmmakers out there. If you know anything about film history, the French New Wave came out of like a lot of these film critics of the day. They would critique and theorize and all this stuff about film, and they kind of just thought to themselves like, wait, why don't we actually just go out and make the things that we're wishing that we saw more of in cinema? And that's what they did. I'm thinking like Jean-Luc Godard. I'm thinking about François Truffaut and Agnes Varda. A lot of these, you know, these theorists turned to filmmakers. I want to be someone who's participating in the movement, right? I talk a lot about some of these things on my channel. I critique certain things, and I guess it's just like, it's something that I want to get into a lot more. I want to actually be involved with the process. So if you decide to donate to the campaign, you would be investing in the potential filmmaker who can, you know, help change these things in the industry. I feel really imposter syndrome about that, but it's the truth. You know, it's something that I've always wanted to do, to be brutally honest, and it's something that I think it's time for me to kind of finally get that going. And so how is that going to affect the channel? Like I said, it'll be a bit more slower throughout, but even if, you know, I wind up working on bigger and larger projects, I am not going to abandon the channel. An actual inspiration would be like David F. Sandberg. So he started off making little horror shorts here on YouTube, and then he did a short film called Lights Out. I don't know if you've heard of that. But then he got signed on to make that into a larger feature. And then he did the Shazam movies, Annabelle Creation, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But he still comes back to his YouTube channel and does these really great in-depth, you know, video essays and behind-the-scenes stuff. And so I want to, you know, keep doing that. Like, it's not like I'm gonna abandon the channel so I can go off and fulfill my dreams. At least right now, I still intend to make videos and post for you guys, because I also view a lot of the stuff that I talk about as a bit of like a catalog of work, a catalog of things that people can go back to. There have been YouTube channels that have done that in the past, like Every Frame of Painting. They had a really good run for like, I think 2 or 3 years, and then they just stopped. But their video essays are constantly being rewatched. Because the value and the work that they put into those video essays about filmmaking stuff in general. And so that's kind of why too I want to try and finesse the channel, make the quality just a little bit more, you know, nice for you guys. I just, of course you could argue that, you know, the value comes from my perspectives. I'm also somebody who is a bit nitpicky about the you know, the presentation. And I don't know if you noticed, like every single video, almost every single video that I've done so far, my background is always different. But it's because I'm testing new things out. I'm trying to find, you know, the right rhythm and the right, you know, stuff, finding the right aesthetic for the channel. Plus, it kind of keeps things different, you know, if they're every video. So, but that is my announcement to you guys and an update for this channel. I am so thankful for all of you who have been with me so far, and I am actually really amazed by how many people are so supportive of the channel. And you know, I updated you guys on my community page, and a lot of you responded. A lot of you are responding to me well on Instagram as well, and so I just want to thank you guys. And I really hope you guys can share or donate to this to the campaign of this short film. It's definitely something that I've been trying to get off the ground for a while, and I personally think it's going to help me kind of propel myself forward into getting more stuff made and involved with other projects. And I really do think that if you contribute, you are contributing as well to this new wave and to a filmmaker who really wants to tell unique stories that, you know, in the right way through an indigenous lens. And that's my goal. But that's it, guys. It was really long-winded, but I really hope you guys, you know, share the campaign, and I will be bothering you guys throughout the month. We're gonna be going crazy on Instagram, and we're gonna go every video that I post this month, I'm gonna be badgering you guys at the end of it. I'll put it in the description. I might make it my pinned comment, and so just be on the lookout for that. Share it with friends and family, and I'll see you guys in the next video.